back to my channel. My name is Amira Sachadal, or you can just call me Amira. And today I have for you guys some new shows. Well, these are shows I already told y'all to watch, but I'm reviewing the shows for you guys. So I have Netflix for you guys today, and I have Hulu for you guys today. I have 5 shows each, and I also have an honorable mention that I'll be telling you guys about at the end. So as you guys know how I normally do it, I do the genre, the description, my rate from 1 through 10, and the strengths and weaknesses of each show. I just want to say I'm so sorry about disappearing on you guys. I don't even remember the last time I posted. It had to be the beginning of the year, maybe like March. I don't think I posted since March. So I'm so sorry for neglecting you guys over the entire summer. I was busy enjoying my summer and working and doing other things. So I'm sorry about that. The last video I did, I literally said that I was going to be posting more, and I just literally neglected you guys. But I have been posting on TikTok and Instagram. If you follow me on those, my name is Amira Sachadal on all platforms. So I have been posting a lot on each of those things. So I haven't neglected you guys in that way, but I haven't given you guys a solid review since then. So I'm going to be dropping back-to-back reviews since I left you guys hanging for so long. I'm so sorry about that. Also, it's my first time doing a full face and recording. If you follow me on Instagram, you would know I just now started getting into makeup. This is my first time recording with a full face. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to like this video after I record it, but it is what it is. I'm not pressed. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. I'm going to go through the list, and then I'm going to go back and do my reviews on them. So for Netflix, I have Outer Banks, The Good Place, Somewhere Between, Dirty John, and You. For Hulu, I have For Life, Devious Maids, 9 Perfect Strangers, The Sister, and The Unusual Suspects. And I have an honorable mention of Panic, which is on Amazon Prime. So let's just jump right into it. So for Outer Banks, it's an adventure, action, mystery show. It's about 4 friends who are basically like ride or die for each other. Like, they call themselves the Pogues. Like, they're just like a ride or die friend group. And they're on a mission to find one of their friends whose father went missing a while back. So that's basically what this show is about. And obviously, as the show goes on, more drama unfolds and they start learning other things that's going on in their town. I would give this show a 9. A strength of the show is literally how close-knit the friend group is. I feel like you don't see that a lot in TV about younger kids. They always, through high school and after high school, I feel like the friendship disappears, and I feel like in this show that doesn't happen, and I really like that about the show. Another strength of the show, I would say, is just the simple fact that they're very passionate, not only about finding their friend's dad, but just like in everything that they do, they're super passionate about it, and I loved watching that. A weakness of this show, I would say that I always feel like shows, when it involves kids and them being in high school, I feel like some of the things that they do is just so far-fetched for high schoolers. Like the things that they be doing, I'm like, I wouldn't have done that in high school. Absolutely not. So I would just say that it's a bit unrealistic when it comes to certain things and how they got out of the situation. But outside, that's a very good show. And excuse my voice, by the way, I forgot to mention that. My voice is very raspy today. I tend to lose my voice on our busiest days during work, because the busier we are, the more people there are, the louder it is, the harder it is for me to talk through a mask, and I always lose my voice. So this is me after drinking tea for like 2 days, and my voice is still going. But yes, my voice is, if you're wondering why my voice is so raspy, it's because I lost my voice, and I do every weekend. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. But yeah, Outer Banks, very good show. Next on the list is going to be The Good Place. Actually, I didn't even finish this show, but this is not a show that you have to finish in its entirety to know that it's a good show. So it's a sitcom / fantasy. So this is basically what it's about. It's about a girl who dies and goes to heaven, and she realizes that she's supposed to be in hell. That she was accidentally placed in heaven. So it's really about her trying to stay in heaven because she knows that she's not supposed to be there. So she's trying to become a good person and redeem herself in heaven because she knows while she was on earth, she was not a decent human being. So that's what the show's about. And it's very funny. I feel like the show is so funny. That's the strength of the show, that it's just like funny. Another strength of the show I would say is that it's mindless. You don't have to know every single detail or watch every single episode to understand what's going on. Obviously, that's how sitcoms are. But I love that about the show. It's very light. Yeah, I just think overall it's a funny show. And let me see, what didn't I like about it? Oh, so one of the characters, this is a weakness of the show for me. One of the characters was so like sex crazed, and I hated that. In the beginning, it was like, actually, I don't want to give away too much about the show, but yeah, I just felt like he just became too sex crazed, and it became too much about sex. That's the only thing I disliked about it. But outside of that, I feel like the concept is a very good concept of what heaven or hell might be like, and just the power that they have and the things that they can do. I feel like the creators really snapped. The creators and the writers really snapped when it came to writing the actual script. So it's a good storyline. Next on the list, number 3 is going to be Somewhere Between. Okay, so this show I actually watched so super long ago, probably like 3 years ago. But I never told you guys about it, and I forgot. And actually, it was a really good show. Somewhere Between, it's a drama mystery thriller. So basically, it's about a woman whose child is missing, and she's having, like, I don't know how to say this word properly, so don't judge me. Premonitions. She's having premonitions. So she's kind of like reliving. Have you ever seen the movie Premonition with Sandra Bullock? This is how the show is. So it's like she's reliving the day that her daughter went missing, and like trying to figure out the bits and pieces she can put together in order to find her daughter. And it's starring Paula Patton. You know, that's my girl. I always said about everybody, I love everybody, but Paula Patton, something about her I just literally love. So what did I say? I gave it a 9. I would say strengths of the show is the unexpected turns that it takes. I love Paula Patton's acting style. Some people dislike, I was reading reviews online, some people dislike that about it, her acting style. So if you ever watched anything that Paula Patton's in, you would know that she's like a light, airy, positive kind of character. And it's kind of hard for people to understand her character and her motive, because this is more on a darker side, because it's like a thriller. So it's more on the darker side, but she has those same characteristics within her character. But for me, it works, because it's just like, oh, I love how she acts. I love that even when she's distressed, she seems as if she's doing okay. Like, I don't know, for some reason I like that about the character. Other people didn't like that about the character. I would say a weakness of the show is, I'm not saying that her daughter died. That's not what I'm saying, but it was other mysteries going on amongst what she was going on as well. So I would say that I didn't like the child killings that was going on in the show. That turns me off from a show. If you start involving kids dying, because that happened in, what was that other show that I told y'all to watch? No, Marcella. In Marcella, there was child killings, and sometimes that really makes me stop watching the show. But I have to see how far they're gonna go with it before I decide if I want to watch it or not. I feel like they didn't go too far with it, which is why I still watched it, and I still say it was a good show. But that is something I didn't like about the show, because once you involve kids dying and stuff, you just be like, what are we doing here? Like, is that, then I start thinking, like, is that even allowed? Like, can y'all write that in a script that y'all was killing children? Like, I don't know, for some reason I just don't like it. I mean, obviously that's not so far-fetched that I don't like it, but that's the only thing I would say I don't like about the show. Number 4, Dirty John. Okay, so this is so far from what I usually watch. It's true crime. So these are true stories based on true events with real people that this happened to. I'm gonna give it a 9. I'm gonna rate it before I tell you what it's about. I'm gonna give it a 9. And I would say the strengths of the show, obviously, is that it's based on true events. So each season is about a different storyline, so it's not all about the same thing. The first season is about a woman who met a man online. I don't want to say too much, but it's about a woman that met a man online, and I feel like I can't say too much because it's based on true people and true events and things that happened in real life. But she was just literally ignoring every single red flag there was. She ignored it, like every single one. I'm like, are they exaggerating how this story went? Because all these red flags and you still want to continue to date this man. Why? I don't know. For me, he just gave way too many red flags. Like, it was just like a no. And then on top of that, your daughter does not like this man. And it's not like you have a younger daughter. You have an older daughter. And she's telling you, Mom, this is not it. This guy is not it. He's not who he's saying he is. So her daughter started diving in like, who is this man? Because he's not who he says that he is. And I don't want to say how it ended, but that's the first season. The second season is about a married couple. And basically, I don't remember exactly what time period it was, but it was back in the days. And a woman, basically her husband, he was just no longer interested. He was interested in another woman. So he did what he had to do to get out of the marriage, which was he made her look crazy, which is not right. And I feel like it was just way easier to do that back in the day. He made her look like an unfit mother. He made her look like a psychopath. And in the end, I would say that he drove her there. And that's all I'm going to say. I definitely think season 2, Betty, is better than the first season, Dirty John. Well, maybe it's just called John. But the second season, I definitely feel like it's better than the first season. But it was a very good show. Definitely taking me out of my comfort zone because I don't watch shows like this. But yeah, it was good. And you can watch them in any order, obviously, because they're not related. So, okay, next on my list. This is so unlike me to talk about shows that are like so extremely popular and that everyone's raving about. But I'm gonna talk about it anyway. The show, You. I watched it when it first came out. Didn't mention it to you guys, obviously. It's a psychological thriller. And I will say this. When you ask people what this show is about, I feel like they say everything but what this show is about. This show is about a stalker. Why are y'all so afraid to say that? The show is about a stalker. Y'all make it seem like this show is about something other than a stalker. The man is a stalker. He's a stalker. Like, y'all try to make it seem like it's something different. The man is a stalker. He literally sees a woman, he immediately becomes obsessed with her, and he stalks her. He finds her social media, finds out where she lives, he finds out where she works, finds out the things that she's done at her pet. Like, he finds out so much about this girl. He's like the ultimate obsessive stalker. Let's call it how we see it. He's a stalker, okay? Now we got that out the way. I give the show an 8. The strength of the show, I would say, is you are really wanting to know how far this man is willing to go. And that's what holds your interest the entire time. How far are you willing to go? To get the girl and keep the girl, how far are you willing to go? And then you start finding out about his past. Okay, this is not your first rodeo. And so it's just like, things just start to unfold. And I feel like that's what I like about the show. Weakness of the show, I would say I hated season 2. Season 2 completely lost me. Like, I was very much uninterested during season 2. I didn't like how they introduced that young girl. And I just felt like it was odd the way their relationship was turning into. Like, why? Not saying that he was in a relationship with the young girl, but him just having a friendship with her was weird to me. I feel like it was giving very much pedophile vibes. And I couldn't understand what was the reason for it? What was the reason? I don't know. I just feel like she didn't really fit into the storyline to me. She came in at odd times, exited at odd times. I don't know. I definitely feel like them having that young girl in there was weird. And then I felt like it was perfect that he found a woman that was more like him. But then he didn't like that about her. And that was confusing to me. I'm like, okay, so you don't like when someone else is doing the things that you're doing? Okay. And then as you watch season 3, you see that like she's she doing a lot, which is like, I get, so now I see like why he didn't really like her as much as he did in the beginning, but she's doing the same things that you're doing, but your reasons are justified, and I guess hers isn't. It's the typical, y'all make it seem like women react off emotions and don't know how to make rash decisions, which I hate that they painted her as that, because whatever. But in the end of season 3, the necessary occurred, is all I'm going to say. But yeah, I mean, people are like diehard fans of this show. The shows that y'all are into, I'm just not into them as much. Like I wouldn't even, that's not even my top 10 shows. Like when it came out, I almost didn't even watch season 3 because I didn't even like season 2 at all. So I almost didn't even watch season 3. But I'm like, let me just see what it's about. Season 3 definitely is better than season 2, I would say. The first season was solid. Season 2 sucked. Season 3 redeemed itself, and I feel like that just made it a solid run. But it's not my most favorite show in the world. What did I rated it? Yeah, I rated it an 8 because it's like an 8. Whatever, 8. Like, I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Now I'm done with Netflix. We're going to move on to Hulu. So, for Hulu, first show. Oh, mind you, I didn't put this in. I can't imagine I just said that. I didn't put this in order of what I like the most versus what I like the least, how I normally do. I just put it in any kind of order. So I would say off my list for Netflix, the show that I like the best out of all of those, probably Outer Banks. That would be the show. If anything came out with a new season, Outer Banks would be the first thing that I watch because it was really good. Okay, now moving on to Hulu. Number 1, For Life. Which is, where's the new season for Life? Anyway, For Life is a drama crime. It's about a Black man wrongfully in prison where he becomes a lawyer because he's trying to get himself out of prison, because he knows for a fact he didn't do what they said that he didn't do what they said that he did. And they don't have the right type of evidence. He can't get a good lawyer, so he's like, you know what, I'm gonna study up and become a lawyer, and I'm gonna get myself out of here. So that's what the show is about. It's based on a true story. I would say it's definitely a 10. I would say the strengths of the show is it's easy to become attached to it because the story is so sad, and because it's a real show, you just empathize with it, so it's easy to become attached. Obviously it's relatable, especially within the Black community. What is happening to him is something that we pray never happens to the people that we love. We pray that it never happens to our father, our brothers, our sons, our nephews, our cousins, our uncles. We're praying that we never experience what he's experiencing, because it happens so much within the Black community. It's so easy for Black people to be convicted. It's so easy, especially in the low income families. It's almost like they pushing you into the prison. So it's like it's hard not to become a statistic. So watching this is a hard watch, I would say. So I put that as a weakness, that it's a hard watch, because we're empathizing because we live it, we experience it, we know what he's going through, we know how hard it is to get out of a situation like that, especially when it's such a big crime that he committed, you know what I'm saying? So you just through the entire show, you just feel for him, because it's just like, dang, that could have been my brother, dang, that could have been my dad. Like, and just knowing the amount of years that he lost of his life wrongfully, like, you could never get time back. You missed your child growing up, you missed the birth of your first grandchild. Like, it's almost making me emotional because it's just so messed up how the system is. Like, is like I said, it's just something you pray to never be a part of. Once you're in a system, it's hard to get out of it, it's hard to stay out of it. So praying for anyone wrongfully accused and wrongfully in prison right now, because I couldn't imagine. Moving on. I'm so sad now. Moving on, let's clear the air. Moving on, the next show I put Devious Maids. I feel like I already talked to y'all about this, but I went back and I didn't, I guess. So this is a show I watched way back when in high school, high school was what? I graduated high school 7 years ago. So I watched this probably like 10 years ago. I watched this like early on in high school, then I stopped watching it. But it's a drama comedy mystery. It's about 5 Latino women and their lives as maids. One of the maids is killed. They find out that she was killed because she knew a secret about a family. So they're trying to figure out who killed her and what the secret is. I would give it a 7 out of 10. A strength of the show, I would say, is very drama filled. Very, very drama filled. Definitely holds your interest at all points. Weakness of the show, I would say, can be cheesy. No offense, Lifetime, but that's how Lifetime movies and shows are to me. They're cheesy. So for me, I just feel like at moments it was very cheesy. But you push through because you're trying to figure out what happens to this girl. And obviously more drama unfolds as the show goes on. And you just like, what is going on? So for me, it definitely helped my interest, but it is a little cheesy. It is TV 14. So I definitely feel like, I don't know, for me, people always say I'm feisty, spicy, however you want to slice and dice it. But one thing about me, I'm going to snap. So it's like, when I be watching TV 14, it's like literally, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have said that. I would have went way more harder than y'all did. So for me, that's what I hate about TV 14. They don't go as hard. It's like, no, snap. I want you to snap. Like, that's really what I be thinking. Like, no, I want you to say this. Like, that's what I be thinking the whole time. But yeah. Moving on. Number 3, 9 Perfect Strangers. So 9 Perfect Strangers is psychological drama. It's about a group of people that go to like this mysterious retreat to try to heal themselves of like their past and their traumas and stuff like that. I give it a 9. Strength of the show is that it's all-star cast. So you have, who's on the show? You have Regina Hall, Nicole Kidman. You have, who else is on the show? Regina Hall, Nicole Kidman, Melissa McCarthy. It's just it's all these stars on there. So that's always a plus. That means that the acting is superb. Strength of the show, character development. So this is one of the shows where it's like, you want to know the ending, but you wouldn't be mad if you didn't get an ending. That's how I felt about it. I wasn't watching it for the ending. I was watching it more so because each episode was just like, this is good. This is good acting. And the character development, I feel like, was so good. And I feel like that's so important for shows. So the how the characters were, I don't know. I mean, maybe you guys are not really familiar with the terminology character development. I mean, I feel like it's self-explanatory, but how each character started off and the characters that you liked and didn't like at the beginning is changed by the end of it. So I like seeing that in the show, like just seeing how the characters evolve. Like, it's just like, wow. Especially because this type of show, they're going there with their baggage. So it's like, you just see them unpack their baggage and seeing here all the things that they've been through and why they're acting the way that they're acting and why they want to change and why they want to be different. So I feel like that is an awesome show in itself because I just love character development. I would say a weakness of the show, I guess, is not, for me, I don't think it's a concrete resolution. They give some type of resolution, but I don't feel like it's a concrete resolution. So that might make you not want to watch it. But for me, I definitely will watch it again. And if I had a second season, definitely will watch it. Number 4, The Sister. I always forget what this is about until I read about it. Okay, so this is a thriller/drama. So basically what happens is, I don't know how really to explain it without giving too much. But basically, this boy is involved in the death of a woman, but not really. He just witnessed her die. So he felt like it would be hard for him not to look guilty. So the other person that he was with convinced him that it would be a better idea for them to just bury the body instead of going to the cops with what really happened. So that happened. And for some reason, so the girl that died had a sister, right? He decides to marry the sister. That's interesting. Why would you marry the sister of the girl who you know what happened to her, but you know her sister doesn't know what happened to her? But I don't understand that. I feel like in no world, under no circumstances, that would ever happen. You are involved in this girl's murder, and you go and be with her sister knowing that her sister is still missing. She doesn't even know that her sister is dead. She just feels like her sister is missing. So she genuinely does not know where her sister is and what happened to her sister. And you decide to be with her, and you know exactly what happened. So for me, that just made me feel like, okay, I need to watch this until the end, because what is she going to do to him once she finds out that he knows and always knew what happened to her sister? So that's the reason why I just kept watching. I'm like, what is she going to do? Because like I said, like, think about me, I'm going to... So I'm like, is she going to kill him, or is she going to report him to the cops? Like, is she never going to find out? Like, I just needed to know what was going to happen, because what? Why would you? Why? It's like, for me, I would literally be like, why did you come bother me? Why did you come bother me? I didn't seek you out and wanted to be with you. You came and bothered me, and you knew what happened to my sister, and you knew how heartbroken I was, and you still decided to be with me knowing everything that happened. That's crazy to me. Are you kidding me? Like, I don't think I would ever be able to get over that. Like, ever, ever, ever. And then, because then you start thinking in your mind, like, why didn't you have that? You know how you get feelings about things. It's like, why you didn't have a feeling about this man? Like, I would start blaming myself. Like, I didn't have a feeling of nothing. I wouldn't be able to believe myself. But really him, though, like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, thinking about it, it makes me so mad. But anyway, so with all that being said, I would rate it like a 7.5 or an 8. A strength of the show, I would say the antagonist and the protagonist is definitely the same person, because obviously we knew that he didn't kill the girl, but at the same time, you dead wrong for being with this woman. So it's like you want him to be able to get away with what he did, because he did it. Like, I don't want to say it like that. Actually, let me take that back. So it's like you're rooting for him because you know what happened was an accident. But at the same time, no one asked you to go be with old girl. So that's why you're not rooting for him. So it's like the antagonist and the protagonist are the same person. I feel that's definitely a strength of the show. A weakness of the show, I would say at some points it becomes unrealistic. So just some of the things that happen, it's like, okay, that wouldn't have happened in real life. Whatever. But yeah, that's that show. Go watch that. Number 5, The Unusual Suspects. This is a dark comedy / mystery. So it's about nannies of rich women. And someone stole something very valuable. I don't know how to describe the show, because what you think the show's initially about is not really about. So I don't know if I should say what it's really about. I'm gonna say what it's initially about. Initially, somebody stole from one of the rich women, and they're trying to figure out who stole it. I want to say more. I don't want to give too much. Should I say more? I don't know. Someone stole something from a rich woman to change her life, basically. Change multiple lives, basically. But yeah, the show is not about who did it, though. Like, in the beginning, you start thinking like it's a mystery because you're trying to figure out who did what. But it becomes clear what happened. Whatever. I can't say too much. It's just about something being stolen from a rich woman, and it's involving some or one of the nannies. And I would give it an 8. Strengths of the show, plot twist. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't really even tell y'all what it's about because of the plot twist, and then like the plot twist after that, and then the final plot twist. It was just like a lot of plot twists. It was really, I don't think I was able to guess any of the plot twists that happened. So that was good. But I would say a weakness of the show is you can become a little uninterested while watching it. Definitely if you pull your phone down and start being on your phone, you definitely would lose a little interest. But I rewinded it, then I watched it, and I was like, I'm glad I watched it. So if you become uninterested, keep watching. The ending is definitely worth watching. And that completes the list. So my honorable mention is on Amazon Prime. It's called Panic. So if you watch Outer Banks, if you watch Outer Banks and you like Outer Banks, you definitely will like Panic. It's an adventure, action, mystery. So basically, all graduating seniors are able to compete in this thing called Panic. And Panic is like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like dares. It's kind of like they're daring you to do all this stuff. And you complete the dares, you move up, and it's like the winner of all the dares, or whoever, is it completed it the quickest? Whoever completes it, period, because it's based on dares and stunts and doing things that you're scared of and all that type of stuff. So it's like whoever does everything and finishes it wins $50,000, and they can do whatever they want with it. So I would say a strength of the show is you never know what the game is going to ask you to do. And I feel that's definitely a strength, because that keeps you watching and you're wondering, what are they going to ask of next? A weakness, I would say the kids have way too much freedom, in my opinion. Especially with the fact that they say that the panic happens every single year. And like they act like the cops and stuff act like they can't figure out who's running the panic and when is it going to take place and all that. They act like they can't get to the bottom of it, and I feel like that's very unrealistic. So I just felt like they giving the kids way too much freedom on this show. But yeah, so that's what the show is about. If you like Outer Banks, you definitely would like Panic. Both very good shows. Yeah. So thank you guys for watching. I will be continuing. I think that for the rest of the year, I'm cool. I'm not gonna post nothing for the rest of the year. I have another review to do right after this. I'm just gonna do them back to back, drop them, and I'm cool for the rest of the year. I have to focus on what I have going on, and I'll be back to y'all next year, and hopefully some good new shows is coming out. If you follow me on TikTok, you know that I do not only TV series dumps, but I also do I also do movie dumps as well. But yeah, I haven't decided yet. I think I'm going to continue to do TV series dumps. Probably not so much of the movie dumps. But I'm going to continue to drop things. I'm not going to do any more reviews for the rest of the year, but I'm going to continue to post on TikTok, post on Instagram, and all that good stuff. So make sure you guys follow me on Instagram and follow me on TikTok. Amira Such a Doll. No dots, no periods, no underscores, no dashes, no numbers. Amira Such a Doll. So make sure you follow your girl, and I'll keep you guys updated on what to watch. Look out for my video that I'm about to drop on for HBO, though. I have a long list of HBO shows that y'all need to watch. If I don't say anything, I know I didn't talk about this. Matter of fact, I'll make a separate video, but if you've made it this far in the video, you need to go watch Wentworth, because that's the best show I ever watched. I already did a review for y'all and all that on it. Go watch Wentworth. That's the best show I ever watched in my entire life. Y'all know I'm all about TV. I'm all about movies. And y'all know, if y'all really follow me on my social media, y'all know that I'm a diehard Friends fan. And Wentworth, I would say 100% better than Friends. So go watch Wentworth. It's the best show I ever watched. If you don't do anything, if you don't watch any show I tell y'all to watch, make sure you watch Wentworth. Okay, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.